Guys, get ready for a bombshell revelation that could blow the whole Fulton 19 case wide open. In an article just published by The Federalist, written by Mark Davis, a guy I have interviewed twice on this channel, it reveals a key defendant's legal team may have uncovered a game-changing jurisdictional issue that could cause a lot of damage to Fani Willis's case. I've got the details, and we're going to get into it starting now. Hey guys, welcome back. Do I have a good story for you today? It's about the Fulton County election interference case, and trust me, this one's a doozy. Full disclosure, Mark Davis, the author of the piece we're going to get into, has been a very close friend of mine for about 12 years. The guy is rock solid with data analysis for voter data, and in the past, he has been deemed an expert witness by 5 courts for Georgia election laws and redistricting. You see, there's this guy named Harrison Floyd, a former Marine, a Trump campaign staffer, and the leader of that Black Voices for Trump group. Now, this poor guy got caught up in the dragnet of Fani Willis's indictment circus, facing charges like RICO violations and whatnot. It's funny that Fani Willis's election interference case is nothing but election interference against Donald Trump. It turns out Floyd's attorney, Chris Kachuroff, has been doing his best digging around, and he may have stumbled upon a massive jurisdictional issue. Here's where you should be on the edge of your seat. According to Kachuroff, Willis might not have had the legal authority to bring these charges in the first place. Can you believe that? It's like a cop busting you for jaywalking in another state. Apparently, election-related violations are supposed to go through the state election board first, and they're the ones who decide where to refer the case for prosecution. But our gal Fani, the gift that keeps on giving, thought that she was the last line of defense, the Lone Ranger, if you will, the only one left standing to investigate this whole mess. Boy, talk about delusions of grandeur. She tried to justify her jurisdiction in a letter to the court, but Kachuroff isn't buying it.
She actually wrote a letter to the chief judge where she essentially says that the rest of the state, the Secretary of State and the governor, they're all compromised. I'm the only one left. I'm the only one left standing that can investigate this. That doesn't.
What do you mean by that? Explain that.
I don't know. That's what I'm using her words.
Well, who is she saying was compromised, and in what way?
The Secretary of State's office. She said that they had all been contacted by the defendants, that we were all in cahoots. I mean, that's what clued me into this idea of the SEB. When I came across the statute, I realized she was literally putting the statutory language in her request for a grand jury. And she was basically claiming that everybody else was compromised, including Brad Raffensperger. Nobody had the power to investigate. Look, the state election board routinely investigates alleged irregularities and refers them out to district attorneys and or to the Attorney General of Georgia.
Now, here's where things get really spicy. If the appeals court or the Georgia Supreme Court rule in favor of Floyd, it could mean that Willis indicted all those folks without proper jurisdiction. Can you imagine the fallout? It would be like a nuclear bomb going off in her little legal sandbox. Not only would her entire case crumble like a cheap suit, but she could also lose her prosecutorial immunity. And you know what that means, guys? Lawsuits galore. We're talking multi-million-dollar civil rights violations for each and every one of those indicted souls. Remember when Floyd got jailed for a whole day despite surrendering himself? And the judge deemed him a flight risk, even though he's the one who walked right into the lion's den? Well, our man is not letting that slide either. In a recent interview, he called out the deplorable conditions in the Fulton County Jail, where inmates are dropping like flies. And let's not forget the hypocrisy of Willis crying foul about being mistreated because she's black, while being the one responsible for throwing a black man in that hellhole without bond. I believe he was the only one who didn't get a deal as well. The piece reads, quote, "When Floyd was later indicted, he flew to Atlanta from his current home in Maryland and surrendered himself on August 24, 2023. He expected to bond out quickly, as had the other defendants. To his surprise, he was jailed for 24 hours until Fulton County Magistrate Judge Emily Richardson held a bond hearing. She deemed him a flight risk, even though he had voluntarily turned himself in. denied him a bond, and ordered him to be held in the Fulton County Jail, which is known to be a dangerous and bedbug-infested place. Some people are speculating Fonnie was trying to make an example out of Floyd because he is a black man, and instead of playing the victim card and the race card all the time, he was a Trump supporter and an America First guy. He didn't fit the role of the Democrat stereotype of helpless black people who are too stupid to get a voter ID. So she had it out for him. The piece goes on, quote, following his confinement, a conservative uproar ensued, and a crowdfunding effort was launched, raising more than $360,000 thus far for Floyd's legal defense. On August 29, 2023, 6 days after his surrender, Judge Scott McAfee, who was assigned the case, set a bond of $100,000 as well as other conditions for his release. He was freed the next day. So where does the case go from here? Floyd remains unwavering in asserting his own innocence and does not believe he deserved the treatment he received. In a recent interview on the Real Dana YouTube channel, Judge Joe Brown noted that Willis is often, quote, out there complaining about how she gets treated so badly because she's black, and she's black in charge of the prosecution in Fulton County. He added, and you're the only black person that got caught up in this, and you couldn't get a bond. Oh, that's interesting. Folks, this case is shaping up to be one for the history books. It's got scandal, suspense, and enough legal drama to make a Philadelphia lawyer's head spin. And I should know because I was born and raised in Philadelphia. But in all seriousness, guys, if Kucherov's jurisdictional challenge succeeds, it could blow the entire Fulton 19 case to smithereens. All right, guys, smash that like button if you think Willis is way out of her league on this one. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please share these videos with like-minded friends who want to stay informed with what's really going on. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.
Ba-dum-da-ba-do-do-do-do-do.